343 Industries is dead, gone, burned to ashes, and up from the ashes rises like a phoenix from those ashes. Halo Studios. Halo Studios is here. That this is the big news, one of many big news, I guess. Newses that makes no sense, but that's okay. Basically, we're seeing a revolution, a revamp of Halo. Microsoft basically said peace to a lot of the higher execs, higher upper management are gone. I'm not going to list any names, don't remember names. So I'm just here to talk about like the main focus, which is Halo. Halo is trying to dig itself out of a hole that it built, that it dug itself. You know, it did this to itself with the last couple games. Some people say that Halo 3 was the last good Halo game. I'm personally biased, and I enjoyed Halo 4. You know, there's always fans out there who just kind of like, after some time has passed, there's like a realization that, oh, maybe I mistreated you, or you know, that meme's like, maybe I judged you too harshly. And like Halo 2 was once kind of lauded and criticized for the story, and now it's regarded as one of the best, if not the better, out of the 3 original Halo trilogy games, which is kind of crazy. But I remember the criticism growing up, like Halo 2 just kind of ended and that's it. Cliffhangers weren't the best in gaming. That's not what people wanted. What Halo delivered was revolutionary. What Combat Evolved delivered was new, in a sense, to the gaming industry, or perfected what was once there with Doom. As we all know, Doom was a big, groundbreaking experience, also game-leading industry style game that wound up inspiring other games, which inspired Halo. But Halo took what Doom did and capitalized and made things better for the gaming experience, specifically first-person shooters and storytelling. When you think of first-person storytelling and campaigns and shooting games, you think of Halo, especially the multiplayer. What was once highly regarded as a highly demanded, respected franchise has kind of seen its downfall with, I guess, the studio essentially putting the game on the back burner and trying to create, I guess, an in-house gaming engine that wound up not... Well, it worked, obviously. The game came out with Halo Infinite, but it wasn't the best, and it took time away from the actual game, the story, the campaign, the lore, and the other like components of the game, which were multiplayer. Multiplayer was great for a month, and then it was just like kind of just soup, leftover soup with no meat, no toppings, nothing. It's like bad ramen with no ramen in it. So a lot of people complained. I'm making the complaints myself as well, because I was one of those people. Like, there was something missing. I recently picked it up again, and I also put it back down, just to see what Halo Infinite had to offer, if anything was new or different, and it really didn't. And I guess you can argue the other previous Halo games had something like that. I hated Halo 5, but I'm not going to tell you what the multiplayer was or how it was, because it didn't feel like a Halo game, and I just stopped playing Halo 5. I didn't like the campaign, and I didn't like the multiplayer. I thought it was just generally a bad Halo game. It wasn't a Halo game. So I never played that, nor do I hold it in high regard. And not many people, I feel like. But hey, maybe I'll be one of those people saying, hey, it was actually better than I thought. People are going to say the same thing for Halo Infinite. Halo Infinite had a lot of opportunity, had something that it could have offered, and it had the opportunity to do what we all wanted to do, which is capitalize on the story, but it didn't. Not enough lore. It didn't take what it created from its first iteration. To me, Halo is a franchise that should have a chance to show what it can still do and what it can do with the technology that is out now. And that's the next thing, is that they've announced that Halo Studios will be iterating Unreal Engine 5. If you don't know what Unreal Engine 5, I really just suggest you Google it. But basically, to sum it up, it's like an iOS to your phone, like Apple or Android. What operates those phones. Well, gaming operates on different engines. Unreal Engine is one that is an engine that's basically, or graphics that's been around for many years. It's just highly regarded. A lot of games have turned to it, use it. PC games, any kind of game except for Nintendo, they use their own in-house stuff. But basically, like Gears of War, just to name an example. Yeah, that's a Microsoft example, but I'm not missing other ones. But that's what Unreal Engine is, and the graphics are beautiful. It's a great graphics engine, and they showed some still shots. They showed some, I guess you could call it some gameplay, game cuts, whatever you want to call it. And it's promising. It's really promising. So for people like me, at least myself, being a Halo fanboy fanatic, I'm cautiously optimistic. For others, it's not enough. For others, maybe it's like, yes, Halo is back, baby. But really, it's just it's a step in the right direction, but it's a cautious step. It's not one that should be applauded from the highest of mountains, from the highest of peaks, and claim victory. Obviously not. There's no game. It's just announcements. It's just a theory, essentially. It's just an idea that's being created. For all we care, they go bankrupt and Halo Studios shuts down after a year because they can't create the game, or they're overworking their staff and they all quit. Who knows what? Anything can change within a year or 2 years, however long it's going to take. It's probably going to take a couple years for this game to come out, this new Halo game, whatever they want to do. But it opens opportunity and opens new doors. Halo has existed in other forms of media. It's transcended past its original format, which was gaming. Kind of like with Star Wars. Star Wars has created an endless amount of lore that surpasses and transcended from its original movie from the 70s. It's now in books, it's in video games, it's in comics, it's in everything. It went from the big screen to the smaller screen to other forms of media. Same thing with Halo. It went from books to comics to other forms of media. We won't talk about the TV show. We haven't gotten a good movie. It's just been animated stuff that's been pretty good. We hope one day as Halo fans we'll get the series that we deserve, or the movie that we deserve. Preferably a series. A gritty, realistic series that takes place right when the Covenant War happens. And that's something that could be done with video games. With this chance for redemption, I guess we'll call it, is that it can start anew and put us in right when the Covenant War started, or 10 years into the Covenant War. There's so much opportunity that Halo has created for itself that I don't think it's taken advantage of it in the fan base. But at the same time, I'm kind of happy it doesn't, because you have a lot of copy and paste games like Call of Duty that just kind of is expected to do what it does now. It's just copy and paste the same formula and be a first-person shooter to please its fans and to have a strong or decent enough multiplayer to make it enough money or make its money back to put money towards the next Call of Duty game. And with them, though, Activision leading that, there's different studios. Halo Studios is just one studio. It'll be interesting to see if in the future if they want to bring in another studio to help. I don't know. Because I don't think they did the Halo Wars games, all of them. I think they brought in a different studio to do that. So you never know. I'm on the fanboy side, I guess, if you want to call it, that Halo deserves a chance to redeem itself, because other game franchises have been able to redeem themselves, or haven't, or are on a path trajectory to continue to keep putting out, hot garbage to garbage, or to just mediocre games. To some people right now, Pokemon has been putting out mediocre games, even though I've been perfectly happy with it, because I don't play Pokemon for the graphics. I play Pokemon to catch fucking Pokemon. I don't play Pokemon entirely for a story, but I would like a meaningful story. I don't want to keep playing the copy and paste stuff, which, again, to be fair, that's most games anyways. It's just a copy and paste formula that either is like slightly altered to please fans, or just enough to get in new players, or keep the same fans invested. There's a lot of moving mechanics, a lot of turning gears in the gaming industry that if you just kind of peel back and look beyond the meat and bones of it, you look and slice it and put it under a microscope and look at the DNA, look at the bacteria. There's a lot of other moving parts. One issue that I have with games is like, it's the last 20 years of plus years. It's the same IPs being used over and over, and I feel like they keep getting a pass for it. Mario, specifically Nintendo, but that's their moneymaker, and I get it. It's the formula that works for them. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But like Mario, Kirby, Zelda, Pokemon, they keep putting out the same stuff, not year after year, but every handful of years, and they make money, and it works for them. Sports games, same, you're gonna get the same crap every year, and and sometimes it's not even good enough. In fact, sometimes the graphics go down, but sometimes they're not, and they're lauded and applauded. Halo, I guess like it's strange. Like, is it the grandfather that refuses to change or not changing enough to keep up? Because it created a whole new set of standards for the gaming industry when it first debuted, and kept up for a while, and then just kind of like lived in its glory days. I don't know. You can argue that yes or not. It's made attempts. It's just haven't been able to compete like other games. But other first-person shooters specifically, or just shooting games with massive multiplayer communities, are just different too. The formula is different. Like, no one's gonna outcompete Fortnite, Overwatch, maybe Apex, and COD. But those are different because now they've shifted to a free-to-play with just a lot of microtransactions. Halo tried to do a kind of free-to-play style. If you had, Xbox Ultimate, you got the game for free, and then just microtransactions afterwards. But I don't want to ramble too much about this. I think Halo deserves a chance. Sonic games keep coming out, and the last good thing I heard about a Sonic game was just how beautiful it looked, but it was in an empty game. It was just an empty game. So I don't know how to compare much right now off the top of my head. I am tired, but that's besides the point. I'm just trying to make connections to other games and I'm not criticizing them too much. It's just like, I think creating games is very difficult. It's like making a movie. I start a movie out of 10, and like take points off of things that I may not like. Sure, you could argue it's nitpicky. Maybe it's not. It's just criticisms of some things. I think making your own game is completely just difficult, and the average Joe like myself and people out there, and you out there listening, who listen and watch your favorite podcasters or video game creators and streamers, like, you have no idea what it takes to put, or what hours or mental and physical demanding job it is to put into making a video game, and then just to completely shit on it. I feel like I'm in a different point in my life where I can't be that critical of something. So I'm not going to be overly critical of the next Halo game because I know how incredibly hard it is, and they're trying. We saw, or at least personally, I don't know if you guys saw. Leave a comment. Tell me what you thought about the in-game / footage that they released, and it was very promising. Like I said, I'm cautiously optimistic. If you're a realist, if you're an optimist or optimistic, you're going to be cautiously optimistic. It's a foot in the right direction, and we can only hope that it gets better. And really, that's all you can really ask for it. But that's pretty much it. I don't want to ramble too much. I have a lot of moving thoughts, and I don't really want to make this into like a 20-30 minute podcast about how Halo deserves a shot. And basically, if we stopped gaming production for the last 20 years of IPs, which include Halo, God of War, even Call of Duty, and all of Nintendo's games, the gaming industry could probably fall apart. That's just one theory, just one example. Like, it's not true that I think it would fall apart, but even Gears, like, that's almost a 20-year-old IP franchise that's approaching its time, that maybe you should, if you were to retire all these IPs, can the gaming industry survive? And yeah, it probably could, but not every game or company has created something original, or they need assistance from these companies to create something original. Xbox has Bethesda now. That'd be kind of interesting if they were allowed to make a Halo game or assist in one. That'd be kind of cool. And then Sony has, their own in-house projects. They have Spider-Man. They have Wolverine. I bet if Microsoft had a deal, they could probably make some fun hero games or other IPs. Spawn game would be kind of cool, even though Spawn hasn't been relevant in many years. But that's besides the point. But yeah, it's like there's chances for new things to come, but like there doesn't seem to be that old competition of trying to create new games. Not like in the 2000s, I feel like, where you had like new things come in. But even then, like when you did have those new things, they're now either dead or only select things have been able to survive past the 2000s, like Halo, like Sly Cooper, that raccoon thief game. I forget the name of it. That's not been relevant, but that's a 20-year-old IP. Tack and the Magic of Juju was a 20-year-old IP at this point, I believe. Banjo and Kazooie is way over 20 years. Crash Bandicoot. Not that those games are consistently being made, but again, it's just like nothing's almost original anymore. Kind of like movies and TV shows. Nothing's really original, except for a handful of studios that keep making that stuff or just adopting stuff to create something that hasn't been made in a while. And even then, you can argue like they shouldn't be making any Marvel games because they're also kind of they're way older than 20-year-old IPs. But I don't mean to ramble, but that's pretty much it. I'm hoping Halo and Halo Studios does right by fans and goes back to its roots while using new technology like Unreal Engine and getting a facelift. If we get Halo Combat Evolved in Unreal Engine to try to test the waters for fans, sign me up. So it's exciting times, but let's be cautiously optimistic, Halo fans. But I think Halo deserves a chance. Master Chief deserves one more chance, I think, at least with a facelift, and then retire and then give us a new team or character, preferably a team. Halo Noble Team 6 was awesome, but spoiler alert, they didn't make it. At least not all of them. So cheers to the future. Unless you wish Halo and Master Chief were just in infinite cryo sleep for now. But let me know in the comments. Let's talk about it. Let's have a conversation. Thank you so much for listening to my rambling. I'll catch you in the next one, beautiful people. Peace.